Hi, this is Brian Fogarty, and this is a video for Chapter 2 of the book Quantitative Social Science Data with R, the second edition. And in this video, what we're going to do is take a look at RStudio, do a little mini tour, or what you will. There's, as I'll say multiple times, the only way to learn R, to get used to R, working with R in RStudio is to do it. So this, this video might not be super helpful in the sense that you just need to get your hands dirty. All right, so what I did was open RStudio. We have R that's underneath, it's running underneath. And again, RStudio's IDE, it's the thing we're working in for R. So when you open it, you'll likely see something like this, which will tell you the R version you're using. So even though I'm recording this in 2022, I've not updated my R version because this is what I started when I was started working on the second edition, so I wanted to keep it. Different people have different views about how often you should upload or change or upgrade whatever your version of R. I am a big proponent of only changing it when there's a big new update of it. So when R came out with the 4.0, I did that. But again, people have different views of it. All right, so where to begin? There's a lot of stuff here. But probably the first thing to do is to open up. So this right here, this is your console. This is where your results are. The first thing that I always do when I get in here is to open a new file. So you could go to the file drop down here, or this little icon. And you're presented with a whole bunch of options. The most basic one is RScript. That's the original, the OG version. There's this new thing called Quarto. Oh my god, I can't pronounce it. But basically, it's an enhanced version of R Markdown, which is what I do like to use. So I'm going to click on R Markdown, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to use R Markdown through these videos here. That's what the book is written in. So you click on that, you have three different options for a regular document. We have HTML, PDF, and Word. So depending on what you're working with, you're going to make an option. So I usually use PDF, but it says, as it says here, it requires you have tech. So LaTeX, some people say LaTeX, but you need to have that installed on your computer. Otherwise, you could use Word, and that requires your Word. So what is R Markdown? So we'll look at this, but R Markdown allows you to write text as well as put code, as well as put output, your figures, your plots, all this sort of thing. You can create a whole entire document. You can write an article, you write your report, your term paper, whatever, using it. You don't have to like cut and paste things, which is what it used to be back in the Stone Ages. All right, so I'm going to click here for the PDF. Again, that requires you have LaTeX, and then gives you the default options here. This just tells you like this is what everything looks like. I'm going to pull this up a little here. So then when you save it, you'll save it, you'll change the title. We'll go through some more of these things as we get a little further into R. Right now we don't really need to get too much into it. Okay. So if you will, actually let me do this. Let's also open RScript. So in RScript, again, this is like the most basic thing you could have. If you've used Stata before, and RScript is like a do file. It's very similar. But essentially what you do is you type all your commands in here, or your code, and then you run it, and then the output comes down here in this window. It's pretty straightforward. Again, we're going to use R Markdown, and I will come back to that. Okay. Some of the other main features is, which we'll see as well, we have our environment, which is where our data, variables, we have history. See, look at all that history. Oh, I need to clean that. There's little brooms, and the little brooms just clean it. So like clean data. Ugh. Connections, this is a little probably advanced. This is if you're connecting to different databases or stuff like that. Okay, the other thing that's common is down here on the right hand side. There used to be 5, now there's 6 options. We have files, which you can load files from here. Your plots, when you do a plot, it'll show up here. Packages, this is a big deal. This is where all your packages are. And so you can actually load packages through this point and click instead of code. But you can also, oftentimes what I do is I check to see, like, do I have this package? So you can search for it, or you can just scroll. All right. Another is help. So like I looked up to double check here, help on dispersion test from the AER package. All right. I don't use viewer and use presentation that often or ever. I don't use presentation ever. So what I'll say is, as you can kind of see, there's so many different sort of options in RStudio, and different people use them in different ways. I'm sort of a minimalist when I'm using RStudio. I kind of have my way of doing it, and I feel like there's too many options. I get freaked out. One of the neat things, though, is if we go to Tools here and click on Global Options, this actually is some stuff that you might want to play around with. One thing that sometimes comes in useful is if you need to use a function from an R package and that has not been updated to whatever version of R you're using, you can change your R session. So if you click here and then choose R installation, so like the previous version, so I had 4.0, oh my god, 4.0.2, as well as 3.6.1. So these are loaded on my computer. So you might want to like revert back to that if you want to use that. Okay. Again, you can kind of play around looking at this. Just there's so many options though, like don't screw up. Of course, you can always like hit cancel and be like, I don't want to do that. All right. Code, you can set it up how you want. I mean, I kind of encourage you to play around with what you're comfortable with. Console, okay. Appearance, this is what a lot of students like to change. I am using like the basic, it comes like this version. But a lot of people, let me see, is this it? Yeah, they like to, the theme editor here, right? They like to change it so that it's black background. But you could, you can change it to all sorts of different things. Oh, Dracula. That's interesting. Okay. All right. So, again, this is just, you're going to get more of a view of this after we play around with it and get into doing the code and the work and the analysis and everything like that. But this is, this should get you up and running. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.